Being a virtual advisor is definitely different than being a brick and mortar insurance or financial advisor, but be careful not to change how you approach people, okay? While the marketing approach might change, the human side of things stays exactly the same. 32-time top of the table award winner Van Mueller gives us his thoughts now.
My only argument, if you're not compelling as an agent in person, you're going to be less compelling on Zoom. That's my argument. And so what I would say is if you want to be successful using Zoom, you should work very hard at being compelling and interesting in person. And that's what will make you compelling on Zoom. I don't think Zoom is a good or a bad thing. It's a tool. And if you use it correctly and wisely, I see a lot of agents, please, I'm going to get in trouble here, who use PowerPoint. I refuse to use PowerPoint. And the reason is when I was learning how to speak, I would go and sit in the back of audiences at MDRT and at NAFA and at all the company conventions. Instead of sitting up in the front, I sat way in the back and I watched everybody watch the speakers. And lots of times, one of the things that really made me cringe is I would watch a speaker actually read the PowerPoint to the audience. It just drove me crazy. I mean, why do we need you? Just make it bigger so we can read it and we can read faster than you can say it. But the second thing that ended up happening is a lot of agents, instead of listening, would take their phone out and they would take a picture of the PowerPoint. And then my argument is that 99% of them never go back and look at the pictures. And then they never take advantage. They just took the picture. And then they don't have time when they get home because they've got all other kinds of things to do. And they really miss the point of what was being tried to be conveyed. So all I'm saying is that if you want to be good on Zoom, if you want to be good on social media, then you have to be good in person. And you have to be able to engage people, not by talking about yourself, but by asking about them. Have you ever considered this? Are you worried about this? Do you like when this happens to you? Or what if you could take advantage of this situation? It's all questions. And the more you engage your customer or your prospect or your client, whatever you want to call them, by asking them about them and they're participating by sharing their opinions, it becomes very powerful. Now, I want to stop for a minute because what I've stumbled across also is lots of agents then say to me, well, should I ask them, when I first meet them, well, what's your hopes and dreams and what do you care about and all of that? And I say, no, you haven't earned the right to do that. If you get an appointment, you should have a stylized presentation like what we're being taught by people like Tom Hegnan and Don Blanton and all of them, where you say, I have several, just really quick. I'm not doing the way I do it, but I'm telling you what the things entail. When I sit down with somebody and they've said, yeah, we'll give you an appointment, I say, man, do you think there's going to be higher taxes in the future? Do you think there's going to be lower benefits? Do you think there's going to be inflation? Do you think there's going to be more and more volatility? And oh my gosh, what about longevity? Doesn't that make all the other four even more important to be given consideration to? And then the customer will say something like, yeah, so what do you think I should do? Well, now the minute they've done that, because you are patient, you are no longer a salesperson. They have asked you for your help, and you have changed the relationship by just being a little patient.
Wow, I hope that you had your pen ready to take notes. Van is the king of one-liners. Want to hear the full 51-minute interview that this clip was taken from? Then click the link in the description below to get your ShiftX All Access Pass, which includes this interview and more than a dozen others, all covering sales and marketing tips for financial advisors. Thanks so much for watching.